Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to learn percentages. So I've already done two videos in percentages. In the first video I explained the concept and we looked at some of the interpretations of percentage. In the second video we solved a few problems. See, you can continue to solve about 1,000 problems and then possibly you will become clearer about it. And I could do as many episodes of problem solving as possible, but the whole idea of learning percentages is to learn the concepts, understand how to convert, etc. What does percentage mean, and that all of that we have covered in my video on solving the problems. Also, if you remember, I have not used a formula, whether it was a profit loss problem, simple interest problem, or any other problem. I have not used a formula. The whole idea of not using a formula is to build concepts and not be formula based. So don't take shortcuts, especially in math and life, and learn the fundamentals, and fundamentals will never fail you. So while we learn fundamentals, sometimes it's important to be a bit street smart, like MS Dhoni, and therefore we must have a few tricks up our sleeves, but obviously on the bedrock of solid fundamentals, so that we can do things faster as well, right? And only when these tricks they fail us, we have the solid fundamentals to go back to, so that we do not fail. So on that note, basically what I will do is I will today cover certain tricks on percentages. So whenever we talk about percentage, so if you remember, we talked about percentage, okay, we talked about fraction, we talked about decimal, and we talked about ratios. Okay, now all of these I told you how they are interrelated with each other. What is really important to understand is how do we convert easily from one to the other, है ना? So for example, 12%, when I say 12%, can I then quickly in my mind think that actually in terms of fraction it is 12 by 100 and therefore it is 3 by 25? Okay, can I think that it is 0.12? That's easy. Can I think that it is 3 is to 25 in terms of ratios? So this will come, or this prowess or this capacity to do things faster will come once, obviously, when we practice a lot. When we practice a lot, it will come to us. Number two is that there are certain things which we might have to remember, or sometimes when we look at it just by observation we can see. So for example, whenever there is a number, let's understand like this. Let's take a number. Let's take a number 728,976. Okay. If somebody tells me to find out, let's say, X percentage of this number. Okay. This is a big random kind of a number. Somebody is asking me to find X percent of this number. So understand that, for example, somebody tells me to find 82% of this number. Okay. Now when I look at 82%, can I think of 82% as 80% and 2%? I can, right? Yes. And then can I think of 80% as 8 times 10%? I can. And then can I think of 2% as 2 times 1%? So basically what I am doing, that if I know 10% of the number and if I know 1% of the number, then I can, in my head also, I can get a rough calculation going. I will know that 82% of the number will be closer to what number. So this is approach one. For any number, if you are asked to find out, let's say, X percentage of that number, you break it down like this. You break it down in terms of multiple of 10 and 1, and I will tell you why. For any number, do you know what is 10% of any number? You just have to, for example, this number, you just have to put a decimal. From the right hand side, just put a decimal, and whatever number you get, that is 10% of the given number. Now, if that number is really large, like how it is here, like this is a 1 to 6 digit number. Okay, so this number is a large number. So when I get 10% of this number, this basically 72,897.6. So even if I remove zero point 0.6, it doesn't really change the number a lot. It doesn't really change the value. 72,897 and 72,897 essentially are the same numbers. And these are the kind of tricks you should use in objective type of papers, which will be asked in MBA entrance, CLAT entrance examination, aptitude tests, etc. Okay, so 10% is, so a very simple technique, especially if the number is larger, is that remove the last digit and you get 10% of the number. And if I have to find out 1%, then what happens? I remove the last two digits. Okay, so I will remove the last two digits and I will get 7289. So now 7 is also gone. Essentially that number is 7289.76, right? That is the actual 1% of the number, but for the sake of calculation I am getting rid of it. Now let me further simplify it. So I will further simplify it, and this is basically 72,897. So I can say this is 72,900 and this is 7,289. I can call it 7,290 at least, for sure I can call it, right? And now basically 82%. So just see, 72,900 is this number, which basically is, so now you do 8 times of this number and 2 times of this number and then add them together, and then you will see that roughly you will be able to get to the value. So this is a good way of looking at a 10%, 1% breakup of a number. Okay, and it will help you in a number of cases, especially if the last digits are 0, etc. So then to matlab it is very very simple. So I hope that you were able to understand this one technique and trick. Other methods are also very easy. For example, if I am asked to find 5%, so what is 5%? I know that 10% is 72897. Okay, let's take, and then this is 10%, so 5% will be half of it, right? So let me divide this by 2, and when I divide this by 2, it basically is this number. So I get to the 5%, like it happens so quickly that nobody gets to know. Somebody tells me, can you find 0.5% of a number? Okay, 0.5% of a number, right? So there are two ways. Either you can find 5% and then shift the decimal by 1. Okay, the other method is that 0.5% is what? Half of 1%. So 1% of this number will be 7289.76. divided by 2, you will get 0.5%. So once again we get, right, so that's 0.5% of the number. Now otherwise if you get into calculation, you might take more time, and that is where all of it comes. Now on a number of occasions what will happen is that they will ask you, let's say somebody will ask you 7% of this number or 7.7% of this number. So can I consider it as 77% of this number? That is one way of finding, thinking that it is 77%. Okay, the other way of looking at it is that 7.7% is actually closer to 8. So let me find 8% of the number, and if it is an objective type of a question, then out of the 4 options, then the rough value, if the options are far apart, then you can find out the rough value. So multiple ways of looking at percentages, and it is in that ways that you can actually make these calculations easier for you. Okay, so this 10%, 1% calculation, it actually helps a lot. In especially for simple problems, you will see that actually it works like a brilliant shortcut trick. Now when I look at a percentage, whenever I am looking at a percentage, it is telling me about a whenever I am looking at a fraction, it tells me about a percentage, and whenever I look at a percentage, it tells me about a fraction. So for certain numbers, especially where the denominator is an even number, okay, or and or the denominator is a multiple of 5 or 10. So either when the denominator is like for such numbers where the denominator does not have an odd factor, okay, so even numbers like 2, 4, 8, 16, etc. Not even numbers like 6, because then 6 has an odd factor. So we will come to those numbers also, but right now let's take like these pure even numbers which only have even factors, okay, or numbers which have an are 5 and 2 are eventual factors, which means such numbers are 5, 10, 20, 40, okay, 80, these kind of numbers. And then in odd numbers, numbers like 25, etc. So these numbers are the easier numbers in terms of finding the equivalent percentage of it. And when you look at them carefully, you will understand why and how I am saying this. So for example, a whole thing is 1 and this is 100%, and as a fraction you write it as 1. If I divide it into two equal parts, the percentage becomes 50%, obviously, two equal parts. Now what will be the fraction? It will be 1 by 2. So see, 1 by 2 is nothing but 50%, right? Now for a moment just think that let me further divide it into two equal parts like this. So now I have 4 equal parts. So what will be this? If I divide it into 4 equal parts, so one part will be what? 25%. Now it will be half of this, so it will become 1 by 4, right? Because it is 1 on 4 parts. Similarly, 1 on 8 parts will be 12.5%, right? Because this is half of this, so this will become half of this, right? Similarly, I go 1 by 16, all right, so that then it will become 6.25%, right? So once again I'm halving this and I'm halving this. Then I go 1 by 32, it will become 3.125%, right? And you can continue to go on, but understand that all these numbers in denominator which I put, this 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, they just have multiples of 2, 2, 2, so it is 2 into 2. So we continue to half them. There is not a single odd factor in. So for example, 16 does not have odd factors, it only has even factors, which means that it only is a multiple of 2, 2, 2. The only factors are 2 and 1, that's it. But then that's how much easier it becomes. You know, when you go from 1 to 1 by 2 is 50%, 1 by 4 is actually 25%, 1 by 8 is 12.5%. Otherwise, see, you will have to like go 1 by 8 into 100. But when I do this progression, that 100% I divided into two parts, so it becomes 50%, but and the fraction becomes half. Another halving, it makes it 25%, but the fraction becomes 4. Another halving makes it 12.5%, but the fraction becomes 1 by 8, right? And now I'm talking about 1 in 16 parts, that makes it 6.25, and so on and so forth. So do some exercises, and at least 1 by 32 till 1 by 32 one should remember, okay? So that way then you will clearly remember and understand, right? Now see, I could have given you a table and asked you to mug up, but I thought that there is a method of explaining by which then you will never forget it. Now let's take these other kind of denominators in which either 10 is there or 5 is there, 20 is there. So it's like an even odd combination, but a combination of 2 and 5. So ultimately your factors are going to be 2 and 5, okay? And if such numbers are there in the denominator, then let's see what happens. So let's start with 5. Should we start with 5? Let's start with 10. So let's say there is a rectangle and we divide it into 10 equal parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 equal parts. So obviously the fraction will be 1 by 10 and the percentage will be 10%, right? This is 100%, so one part will be 10%. Now let me do half of it. So if it is 1 by 5, sorry, it is not 1 by 5 is not half, 1 by 5 is double. So if it is half of it, it becomes 5%, right? Half of 10%. But now I will have to divide it into 20 equal parts, right? So the fraction will be 1 by 20. Now I further half it, 1 by 40, right? So what will this become? This will become 2.5%, right? Now let me go one more round. 1 by 80. So this will become what now? 1.25%. Let me go one more round. 1 by 160. Now this will become what? This will become now half of. So this will become 0.6 um, 25. Yeah. And I can continue to go on. It will become 0.625%. And that's how I am finding out percentages here. So 1 by 10 say I started, and then I am halving. So whenever I am looking at a number, these are the things that I should keep in mind, that okay, whether it is half of half, half, whether it is half of 1 by 4, whether it is half of 1 by 8, and hence the percentage will be this, or whether it is half of 1 by 10 or 1 by 20, 1 by 40. So that way then it will make my calculation easier and it will sharpen my mind. These are the methods in which one should think when you look at percentages. Do not just take your pen and start dividing and finding out. So give it some time. Sometimes when you look at it, now when I double it, actually, for example, this is, so what will be the 2 times of 10? It will be 20%, right? So which means then 5 equal parts. So fraction will be 1 by 5. It is into 2, so I will do into 2, right? So when I do 1 by 10 into 2, it will become 1 by 5. Now you understand 2 by 5 is how much? 40%. Now you understand why? Because 1 by 5 is for 20%. So 2 by 5 is 40. So 3 by 5 is 60%, right? 4 by 5 is 80%. So tomorrow if somebody will ask you in an examination, if you see a question 411, okay, divided by or you say 401 divided by 499, if you get this question, okay, 401 divided by 499, and you have 4 options which are quite far out from each other in terms of value, like they're not close options that you will have to go for an absolute calculation, then can't you just see that this basically I can write it as 400 divided by 500, which is nothing but 4 by 5, which is nothing but 80%, and therefore whatever value which will be closer to 80%, I will take that value. And even in that I will see that 499 is less than 500, right? And 401 is more than 400, correct? And therefore the value, it will be a value which will be slightly more than 80%, right? It will be a value which will be more than 80%. Why? Slightly more than 80%. Like it will not be 79 point something, it will be 80 point something. Can you say why? Because we are comparing it to 400 by 500. So now the denominator has shrunk by 1. So when the denominator is smaller, the value of the overall fraction it increases, and the numerator has increased. So denominator is shrinking, numerator is increasing. Therefore it will be slightly more than 80%. Okay. So that's how you, if there are two values, one is less than 80%, one is more than 80%, then you choose the one which is more than 80%, because that's how you will compare. So that is how you will have to look at numbers, percentages and things. Okay. Now let's look at for example another number, 25, right? 1 by 25. So it is basically 100 parts of 25 parts of the whole thing, right? So 100%, if when we divide it into 25 parts, 100% when we divide it into 25 parts, one part which is basically 1 by 25 is equal to 4%, because 25 4 is 100, right? Now 1 by 50 will be how much? 2%. Now take a break here and see. 1 by 25 is 4% and 1 by 4 is 25%. Can you see the correlation now? Can you see it? We just learned that 1 by 4 is 25%, because 1 by 2 is 50%. And right now we are learning 1 by 50 is 2%, right? So check this out. 2% is 1 by 50 and 1 by 2 is 50%. That's how you will have to see. That's how you will have to see that how these numbers are behaving with each other. Sometimes we fail to see these correlations and we will get confused in the examination. So my suggestion is that keep an eye out whenever you are doing numbers, percentages, keep an eye out. Okay. So now we have covered these numbers who are basically multiples of 2 and 5, them also. Now let's cover a number. So obviously 1 by 100 will be 1%, right? Now if you remember, I told you that any number 7, 8, 9, 6, 4, if I have to find 1%, then I do basically last two digits I remove and I get 1%. Okay, I told you this. Now you understand why whatever this number is 78925, now it's a big number, right? So the 1% basically is nothing but 1 by, I have to multiply this by 1 by 100. When I multiply by 100, basically I'm dividing by 100. When I'm dividing by 100, basically I'm putting a decimal after two digits from the right hand side. And in compared to 789, you tell me what is the difference between 789 and 789.25? If it were to be a small number like 25, I agree that 0.25, I cannot say that 0 is 1% of 25. In that case, I have to write 0.25 is 1%. But in this case, I can even say that 790 is equal to 1% of this number, depending on what type of question I am solving, what is the answers in front of me. But the reason is this. Why did I just hide these two digits, and whatever you get is 1%. Hide one digit, whatever you get is 10%. That's the rough estimate of finding 1%. And if you know 1% and 10%, then you can basically find anything. 7%, you can either go 10%, half of 10% plus twice of 1%. That's your 7%. Or you can go 10% minus thrice of 1%. These are the methods of doing percentages. Now let's focus on numbers which basically or fractions which are multiples of 2 and 3. Interesting ones these, because you don't get exact percentages, you continue to get recurring decimals, है ना? So let's say I have and I divide it into 3 equal parts. So my fraction is 1 by 3, but my percentage is 33.333 and it goes on percentage, right? So whenever I multiply this, I get like 99.9999, and then there is a 0.0001 because it goes up till infinity. It is like that. So you don't get an exact decimal. You get a recurring, continuous, infinite decimal. So for 1 by 3, the fraction is 33.33333. It will go on like that. Now from here I will start. I do half of this, it is 1 by 6, it will be 16.67. Basically it is not 16.67, it is 16.66666. Now you see 16 6 is 96. Okay, 16 6 times is 96. This is basically 16 6.67 is what? 2 by 3, right? In terms of fraction. So 16 into 6 is 96 plus 2 by 3 into 6. Now you see it's 4. Correct? So that gives me 100, which is why this is 16.67. So that's the way you will have to learn. That's the way you will have to learn that okay, 16 6 and 96, and 17 into 6 times is 102. Okay, so if it is either 1 by 16, okay, then it will be, or if it is 1 by 17, okay, the percentage will be somewhere around 6%, 6 point something, right? That is how we will learn it, because 17, 6 times of 17, it is slightly more than 100, and 6 times of 16 is slightly less than 100. So you will have to do these rough estimates in your head. Similarly, when we go till 1 by 20, when it is 1 by 16, 1 by 17, obviously the percentage will continue to shrink because denominator is increasing. The moment we hit 1 by 20, we hit 5%, right? Because in 1 by 20, correct? So that is the way we will learn the numbers, the fractions and the percentages. Now half of this will be 1 by 12, right? It is 1. Now there are two ways to learn it. Either I do simply half of this, which is basically 8 point, once again I get 333333333, it will carry on. Other way of looking at it, I see 1 by 4, because 1 by 12 is 1 by 4 into 1 by 3, right? So 1 by 4 is how much? 25%. Now 1 by 4 is 25%, but 1 by 12 is basically 1/3 of 25%, correct? So we will do 25 by 3, okay, and which is nothing but 8.3333. So there are multiple ways to look at it, right? There are multiple, you just have to keep your eyes open, and then it will all become so easy. Similarly, now we'll half it further, it will become 1 by 24, and this will become 4 point, once again it will become 1666%, something like that. So I hope that you appreciate this, and then you practice yourself, because see, I can give you a chart of 1 by, starting from 1 by 1 and going up to 1 by 100, and then you can mug up. But the idea is to not mug up, but to look at the number and see the correlation. So if 1 by 1 is what? 100% we just learned. 1 by 2 will be what? 50%, obviously, because half of this. 1 by 3, obviously half, third, 1/3 of 100%, it will be 33.33%, okay, and this will continue. 1 by 4 will be what? 25%, easy, half of this. 1 by 6 is what? Half of this, so this will become 16.67. 1 by 7, let's leave it for a moment, I will come back. 1 by 8 is what? This is going to be the 1 by 8 will be half of 1 by 4, right? And if this is 25%, then this is 12.5%, right? And then 1 by 9, what will it be? You tell me. 1 by 9 is 1/3 of 1/3, right? 1/3 of 1/3. So if 1/3 is 33.33%, I divide it by 3, I will get what? 11.33%. And then 1 by 10, I get 10%. So you look at it, 100%, 50%, 33.33%, 25%, and then 1 by 5, I missed it, it will be 20%. So see, the percentages are reducing. 1 by 6 is 16.667. So now when I look at 1 by 7, and 7 is a really odd number, when I look at 1 by 7, you can understand that the percentage will be somewhere between 16.67 and 12.5, roughly, right? It will be somewhere between this. So let's say that this is 16.67, this is 12.5, roughly this is 28 and 29, so it should be around 14 point something, right? Because it is, sum of these two is 28, 29, so half of it should be 14 point something. Let's find out. 1 by 7, let's find out, right? It is 1, 30, then 4, then 20, then 2, then 60, and then 8. So see, it is 14.28. So I didn't even divide it, but by looking at this number and this number, I was able to identify. Now if in the question, if I get what is 1 by 702 or 2 by 701, है ना? So 2 by, so let's look at this problem and let me help you. So if you get a problem of 2 by 701, let's say you get 2 by 701, okay, and now you know that 1 by 7 is 14.28%, okay, you know that 1 by 7 is 14.28%. now this 2 by 701, can we not write it as 2 by 700? We can, right? We can write it as 2 by 700, and because this numerator is so small here as compared to 700, I can basically say that this will be equal to 1 by 700. which basically is whatever value I am getting of 1 by 7, I have to divide it by 100 further. So this value is 14.28%. So 2 by 701, this value then it should be about 0.1428, right? And that's how we will calculate these percentages. Let me just quickly check it, so that in overconfidence, I hope that I do not make a error for you guys. Yeah, it is absolutely correct. It is absolutely correct. The only difference, the only mistake which I made is that I forgot that 1 by 700 here is basically 2 times. Okay, 2 by 700 here is 2 times of 1 by 700. So it is 0.1428%, right? And then I have to multiply it by 2. So it basically is 28.28%. So do not make that error. It's a vital error which I made. Don't make that error. So our comparison would have been valid for 1 by 7 is to 1 by 700, right? And this is 2 by 700. Therefore, if I look at this, this basically becomes 1 by 350, right? And then the denominator halves, and therefore the value will multiply by 2. So we will have to do that. So I hope, like I said, no tricks to remember, and just go in the flow, play with the numbers, and I'm sure that you will love it. And on that note, then I'm going to say goodbye, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I really use these tricks, and I'm sure that if you do, you will benefit immensely. Enjoy, have fun. If you have any questions, write to me or drop me a comment in the comment box. See you.